The shimmering council chamber floated silently inside a drifting asteroid in the silent nebula sector. The Echo Wraith's home base near planet Varela Prime was a fortress of semi-phased architecture. Walls flickered in and out of physical reality, casting shifting shadows. A faint blue glow pulsed from crystalline resonance nodes. The room hummed with eerie quiet, no ordinary silence but one born of psionic resonance fields muffling all sound. High Psion Khel'Thar hovered near the center, his semi-transparent blue skin pulsating softly. Silver patterns twisted along his arms like galaxies spinning in space. His voice was not one single sound but a layered chorus of echoes, a haunting symphony of overlapping tones that filled the chamber. To any outsider it would seem like many beings spoke at once, but here it was only him. Humans, Khel'Thar began, the many voices weaving together, are a primitive species, physically fragile, predictably aggressive. Our sensors show no unusual psionic energy. No threat beyond their blunt instruments and crude weapons. Scion novice Ural floated nearby, his translucent form flickering as he studied the latest intelligence. His eyes glowed faintly red through the misty nebula haze outside. "Hi, Psion! The battlefield scans reveal anomalies. Human soldiers heal wounds faster than expected. DNA signals fluctuate unpredictably during combat. Our sound wave disruption tests show inconsistent effects. Khel'Thar's many voices softened but held firm. Their biology is carbon-based and unsuited for psionic resonance. We have tested sound wave cannons extensively. These primitive warriors shatter under targeted sonic pulses. They are best avoided or subdued with minimal force." Ural's tone sharpened, a slight edge of warning creeping in. Yet the fluctuations are real. We detected changes in their genetic markers mid-conflict. They may be adapting too quickly for our current measures. Khel'Thar's silver arm patterns brighten, swirling faster. An interesting hypothesis, but unproven. The humans are unable to maintain coherent psionic fields. Their aggression is predictable, their tactics simple. Our phased cloaking technology and sound wave disruption rods will neutralize any resistance. He gestured, and sleek, transparent rods floated between them, shimmering with oscillating energy waves. "Prepare reconnaissance vessels equipped with these cannons and phased cloaks. We will demonstrate our superior power to these carbon-based primitives. A show of force will remind them of their place." Novus nodded reluctantly. "I will oversee the deployment, High Psion. Yet, I advise caution. The silent nebula is vast, and the human's rapid healing may mask deeper abilities." Khel'Thar's layered voice coiled into a low echo. "Caution breeds weakness. The Echo Wraith endure by strength and clarity of mind. We will strike swiftly. The silent nebula sector will be our proving ground." Outside the chamber, the nebula's drifting asteroids cast pale light through crystalline windows. The vast emptiness seemed to hold its breath. The Echo Wraith Council's confidence was high, but beneath their graceful arrogance, a flicker of unease stirred. In the heart of the nebula, the humans remained unknown, their true potential hidden. For now, the Echo Wraith saw only fragile bodies and primitive minds. But the galaxy had taught harsh lessons before: never underestimate the spearhead of evolution. As the Echo Wraith studied the humans, a chilling realization took hold. Ancient warnings whispered through their history now echoed with deadly truth. Deep within Galactic Archive Station, Helios 7 in Sector Zeta 9, the vast chamber hummed with quiet energy. Towering crystalline consoles glowed a deep blue, casting an eerie light over the rows of holographic star maps and battle records. Archivist Trill, a slender reptilian xenologist with scaled emerald skin and bright amber eyes, tapped a console. A star map flickered to life, tracing humanity's expansion across the galaxy in streaks of white light. Beside him stood Elder Historian Voss, a retired military advisor from the Terran Colonial Marines. His rugged face bore the scars of decades spent in frontier wars. His steely gray eyes scanned the holograms as he began recounting long-forgotten battles. "Humans," Voss said, voice low and grave, "were once dismissed as small mammals, primitive, fragile. Their weapons, simple projectile rifles, crude blades, seemed no match for the advanced armaments of elder races. T-Real nodded, eyes fixed on a flickering record from the Battle of Karish VII centuries ago. Many species considered them an annoyance, a nuisance at best. Boss' expression darkened, but those who faced them underestimated one thing: the human ability to change, to adapt, to rewrite their biology in the heat of battle. The archivist's claws traced a shimmering timeline. Our data shows humans undergoing rapid genetic shifts during extreme stress. Resistance to poisons, radiation, even deadly diseases developed within hours or days. The changes are not natural evolution. They are deliberate, engineered. Boss leaned forward. We call it the Changeling Protocol, an ancient human military doctrine. When cornered, humans inject themselves with nanotech agents that rewrite their DNA. They become stronger, faster, nearly unstoppable. Trill's voice faltered slightly. Many species tried to contain humans using standard protocols: biological quarantine, psionic dampeners, energy traps. None succeeded. The hologram shifted, showing failed containment zones and shattered fleets. Human colonies marked in bold white lines expanded relentlessly across hostile space. Voss' eyes met Trill's. Elder races who fought humans in forgotten wars barely survived. Their warnings were clear: never underestimate the human capacity for change. A flicker of doubt crossed Trill's face. Could the Echo Wraith's soundwave disruption cannons and psionic fields suppress such rapid adaptation? Doubtful, Voss replied grimly. The nanotech is organic and self-updating. No known resonance or frequency can disable it. The archivist's fingers hovered over a control panel. We must reconsider our approach. The humans are no longer just aggressive. They are living weapons, evolving mid-battle. From the crystal databanks, a recorded message played, an ancient human commander's voice, firm and resolute. We do not fear change. We are the spearhead of evolution itself. Adapt or die, that is our creed. Voss switched off the message. Prepare the Colonial Marine Fleet. Admiral Kwame Vasilev and his team aboard UESN Thunderbolt are our best hope. Their tactics harness this genetic warfare. T-Real exhaled slowly. We may have dismissed humans for too long. Now their ancient warnings echo like a death knell. The chamber fell into silence, shadows flickering across the crystalline walls. The galaxy was watching, and the humans were rewriting the rules of war. But while the Echo Wraith studied ancient warnings of unstoppable change, down on the battlefield, a Marine tightened his grip, ready to face whatever came next. Inside the rugged command bridge of the UESN Thunderbolt, Admiral Kwame Vasilev stood over the glowing star maps. The olive-green panels flickered softly in the dim light. His weathered face was set with quiet determination. A trimmed salt and pepper beard framed his sharp jaw. "Captain Nakamura," Vasilev called out. "Status on Valiant's patrol near the Draconis asteroid belt?" Captain Diego Nakamura's eyes moved fast over his console. His dark hair was close-cropped, and his lean frame radiated calm energy. "We're tracking unidentified Echo Wraith signatures cloaked beyond sensor range. No contact yet, but they're close." Admiral Elena Duarte sat nearby, fingers flying over the comm panels. Her sharp green eyes coordinated fleet channels between the Thunderbolt, Valiant, and Guardian. The UESN Guardian's brown and olive hull panels gleamed faintly on sensor feeds, blending with the shadowed asteroid field. "Colonel Sato," Vasilev turned, nodding to the battle-hardened Marine officer standing by the tactical display. Her dark hair was pulled back into a tight bun, and her olive combat armor was dented but spotless. "We've deployed the portable shield generators to the forward squads," Colonel Leela Sato said crisply. "M-12 Juggernaut pilots are running drills on using the shields under simulated sonic blast conditions. The Marines are ready." Vasilev felt the familiar weight of command settle on his shoulders. The Colonial Marine Fleet HQ orbiting Horus Prime was a hub of endless tension. Humans were always on edge at this frontier, waiting for the next alien threat, the next fight, but they were never afraid. "Keep the squads tight," Vasilev instructed. "Remember, the Echo Wraith rely on psionic disruption and soundwave cannons. Our shield tech and pulse rifles need to counter that." We've integrated the secondary EMP charge settings. Those rounds can punch through personal energy shields. Good, Vasilev said. Let's remind them why humans are the toughest fighters in this sector. The command bridge buzzed with quiet efficiency. The crew was a mix of ethnicities, African, Asian, European, and more, reflecting humanity's diverse frontier. Their worn combat gear bore the scars of countless skirmishes, yet their eyes shone with fierce resolve. Admiral, Duarte spoke up. Valiant reports Echo Wraith patrol shifting formations. They might be probing for weaknesses. Then we give them no openings, Vasilev replied. Outside the station's reinforced viewport, the brown and green camouflaged hull of the Thunderbolt glided through orbit. The ship's angular silhouette blended with Horus Prime's twilight shadows. Its sensor arrays hummed softly, scanning for threats. Vasilev's gaze drifted briefly to the battle fleet's maps. The Draconis Sector was a volatile stretch of space littered with asteroid fields and abandoned mining stations, perfect for ambushes. But humans thrived in the wild frontier. Colonel Sato, Vasilev said, "What's the latest on medical tech for the Marines?" Sato's fingers danced over her datapad. New battlefield regenerators are field-tested and ready. They wrap wounds in a nanofiber mesh that accelerates cell regeneration. Combined with our portable shield generators, the Marines stay in the fight longer. Excellent, Vasilev nodded. We need every edge. The room grew tense. A distant sensor ping broke the silence. Echo Wraith signatures detected, Nakamura announced. Vasilev's eyes narrowed. Battle stations. Prepare for engagement. Duarte's voice went steady over comms. Guardian, form up with Valiant. Well, hold the line. A low hum filled the bridge as energy systems powered up. Marines aboard the Thunderbolt checked their gear. M41A pulse rifles primed. M12 Juggernaut exosuits warmed. Vasilev felt a familiar fire ignite inside him. This was more than a fight for survival. It was a test of human will. The Echo Wraith might see humanity as primitive, fragile, predictable. But here, on the edge of known space, humans were something else. Adaptable, relentless. Fearless. We don't wait to be broken, Vasilev said under his breath. We break and rebuild ourselves. Stronger. As the Thunderbolt and its fleet slipped toward the dark asteroid belt, Vasilev's mind sharpened. This is our home, our fight, and we will win. The bridge crew exchanged determined looks. The engines thrummed louder. Battle was coming, and humans were ready to meet it head-on. Just as the Marines readied their weapons, a sudden ripple in the sky signaled the Echo Wraith's deadly assault had begun. Out of the swirling asteroid field near Aurora Station, the Echo Wraith fleet emerged. Their flagship Veil of Silence glided forward like a ghost. Its hull shimmered semi-transparent, the swirling silver lines pulsing with an eerie blue glow. The ship's phased cloaking flickered, making parts of it vanish and reappear. Psion Khel'Thar's voice crackled over intercepted channels. Commence disruption. Silence their voices. Break their shields. The Veil of Silence fired its sound wave disruption cannons. Long tendrils of oscillating blue energy rippled through the vacuum. These waves twisted and bent, warping space around the human ships. Communications scrambled into static. The Thunderbolt's shield frequencies wobbled under the sonic barrage. A harsh alarm blared on the Thunderbolt's bridge. Admiral Kwame Vasilev's eyes narrowed. Brace for impact. Captain Nakamura, how's the Valiant holding? Evasive maneuvers engaged. Admiral Captain Diego Nakamura replied. His hands danced over the controls of the UESN Valiant. The light brown and green camouflaged frigate darted between massive asteroids, dodging bursts of phased energy beams from the Echo Wraith skirmishers. The sound wave cannons hammered the Thunderbolt's hull. The human ship's kinetic pulse burst batteries flared in response, shooting concentrated blasts of energy. The Veil of Silence's shields shimmered but absorbed the strikes unevenly. Near the asteroid surface, the Thunderbolt deployed several M12 Juggernaut ground mechs. These massive olive-drab war machines touched down with a heavy thud, their armor plates gleaming under distant starlight. Colonel Leela Sato led the armored squads with calm precision. "Juggernauts, form up! Shield generators online!" she ordered through her helmet comms. The Marines' portable shield generators flared to life, creating glowing hexagonal barriers around squads. The shields flickered in sync with the pulse rifle's fire, blocking bursts of sonic energy that tore through open space. Echo Wraith infantry in shimmering exosuits advanced from the rocks. Their lithe, semi-phased forms rippled, absorbing energy strikes with unnatural resilience. But even their advanced armor could not shrug off the humans' relentless assault. "Hold the line," Vasilev commanded, gripping the edge of the tactical console. "Their psionic interference is strong, but the Marine shields will hold. Keep pushing." The battlefield was chaos. The alien exosuits unleashed phased energy blasts that flickered invisibly, aiming to disrupt nervous systems. Human Marines dodged nimbly, firing M41A pulse rifles loaded with armor-piercing rounds and secondary EMP charges. The pulses sizzled through the alien armor, forcing momentary setbacks. Captain Nakamura called out, "Admiral, Valiant's thrusters at max, flanking their left wing near asteroid K47. Their phased cloaks are unstable under our EMP bursts." "Good," Vasilev replied. "Coordinate with Guardian." "Admiral Duarte, status?" "Guardian is launching missile volleys now," Elena Duarte responded briskly. "EMP torpedo. Mark II's inbound to disrupt their phase shields. Target their flagships, resonance emitters." Missiles streaked through the void, leaving shimmering trails. Upon impact, they detonated with blue-white flashes, sending shockwaves that shattered the eerie silence. The veil of silence's phased cloak sputtered under the assault. Khel'Thar's voice echoed angrily through psychic comms. "They adapt too quickly, amplify sonic frequencies, overload their shield emitters." The veil of silence intensified its soundwave cannons. Pulses grew sharper, vibrating at frequencies designed to fracture human shield generators. On the ground, the Marine shields flickered dangerously. Colonel Sato barked orders, "Fall back to cover." "Don't lose your shields." Despite the pressure, human squads adjusted. Portable shield emitters recalibrated in real time, blocking the sonic pulses. M41A rifles changed rounds to EMP mode, sizzling against alien armor. Juggernaut pilots gritted their teeth as energy blasts pinged off reinforced plating. The Valiant weaved flawlessly, Captain Nakamura's cool focus turning the tide. "Their phased cloaks are failing. Target their command array. Going in." The Thunderbolt launched another kinetic pulse burst. The blast struck the veil of silence's hull, cracking its shimmering surface. The flagship shuddered. "Admiral, their exosuits are falling back," a Marine reported over comms. "They can't keep up with our fire." Vasilev's voice was calm but fierce. "Good. Press the attack. We hold here or none of us go home." The Echo Wraith's psionic interference clashed violently with the human shields and EMP fields. The battle raged, energy rippling across the asteroid belt like a violent storm. But the humans refused to break. In the midst of chaos, the echoing soundwave cannons faltered against the unpredictable resilience of the Colonial Marines. This was no simple fight. This was a war the humans were determined to win. As the Echo Wraith launched their deadly assault, the Colonial Marines braced for the worst, unaware that the battle was about to reveal a secret no enemy could have ever imagined. Inside the command module of the UESN Thunderbolt, the air was thick with tension. Admiral Kwame Vasilev stood rigid by the tactical console, eyes locked on the chaotic battlefield display. Beside him, Admiral Elena Duarte's fingers danced over comm panels, coordinating fleet maneuvers with the UESN Valiant and UESN Guardian. Yet it was Colonel Leela Sato who held the key to an unexpected edge. "Admiral," Sato's voice cut through the clamor, "we're ready to deploy the Adaptive Genomic Injector units to frontline squads." Her tone was sharp, but there was a spark of hope behind it. Vasilev turned sharply. "Explain again, Colonel. How exactly do these AGI units work?" Sato stepped forward, pulling up a schematic on the holo display. The Adaptive Genomic Injector, AGI, is a wrist-mounted nanotech device. It injects programmable nanobots directly into the soldier's bloodstream. These nanobots rewrite specific sections of DNA in real time. Duarte leaned in, eyes narrowing. "DNA rewriting? You mean genetic modification mid-battle?" "Exactly," Sato nodded. "The nanobots scan the immediate environment and physiological data, then trigger changes to enhance strength, speed, or healing as needed. If a Marine takes damage, the AGI accelerates tissue regeneration. If the environment is toxic or irradiated, it adapts the soldier's biology to resist those hazards. Vasilev's jaw tightened. We've been facing psionic soundwave disruption from the Echo Wraith. Can this tech help against that? More than help, Sato answered. The nanobots can quickly reinforce neural pathways and cellular membranes, reducing the impact of sonic pulses that scramble nervous systems. Early tests show soldiers shrugging off effects that would normally incapacitate them. Duarte's voice was steady as she issued the order. Prepare the AGI units for immediate deployment. Launch the Biosentinel drones from Guardian. We'll need constant biofeedback to optimize the nanobot responses. On the tactical display, Captain Diego Nakamura's squadron was pinned down near a crater on the asteroid base. His voice crackled over comm, tense but steady. Thunderbolt, Captain Nakamura here. Our frontline Marines are bleeding out fast. We need reinforcements. Vasilev gave the order. Nakamura, AGI units are en route. Hold your position. Sato, patch the injectors directly to the medtech pods. Begin the genomic rewrite protocol. Within minutes, specialized biosentinels launched from the Guardian. These small, sleek drones emitted soft green glows, their nanosensors scanning wounded soldiers and feeding real-time data back to the AGI network on the Thunderbolt. On the asteroid surface, Marines strapped on the Adaptive Genomic Injector devices. The nanobots flowed in silently, invisible warriors inside their veins. Captain Nakamura watched as one of his wounded men, Private First Class Tariq Chen, gasped in pain, clutching a deep wound along his side. Suddenly, the bleeding slowed. Tariq's skin shifted subtly, faint iridescent patterns tracing along his arm as new cells rapidly knitted torn muscles and sealed damaged blood vessels. His eyes blinked open, clearer and sharper than before. Tariq, status! Nakamura's voice was laced with disbelief. Feeling stronger, faster, came the reply, voice steadying. Across the battlefield, more Marines saw similar miracles. One recovered from a sonic pulse blast that would have shattered bones. Another adapted to toxic gases leaking from a damaged asteroid vent, lungs clearing as nanobots modified respiratory enzymes. Back on the Thunderbolt, Duarte monitored the drone's feeds. The AGI network is learning fast. It's predicting Echo Wraith attack patterns and preemptively adjusting soldier genotypes for maximum resistance. Vasilev allowed himself a rare smile. The Echo Wraith think they can crush us with sound and psionics. Instead, we evolve. Suddenly, a high-pitched shriek erupted over comm, an Echo Wraith war cry. The enemy unleashed another wave of soundwave cannons, their oscillating blue pulses rippling through space toward the Marines. The frontline squads braced. The sonic waves slammed into the shield generators, distorting their edges. But the AGI-enhanced Marines stood firm. Their nervous systems dampened the disruptive frequencies, muscles flexed with renewed vigor. Wounded soldiers surged forward, no longer vulnerable prey, but evolving predators. Captain Nakamura's voice rang out, fierce and triumphant. Echo Wraith, meet the future of warfare! Meanwhile, on the Thunderbolt, Colonel Sato activated the battlefield regenerators, nanofiber mesh devices that cloaked wounds in a shimmering web of healing energy. Paired with the AGI's genetic rewrites, these regenerators accelerated cell replication beyond anything previously possible. Duarte's comm crackled urgently. Admiral, the Echo Wraith are starting to pull back. Their psionic attacks aren't breaking our lines. Vasilev's voice was steady, ironclad. Good. Keep pressure on. This is more than a battle. It's an awakening. The atmosphere on the Thunderbolt bridge shifted. Hope surged through the crew like a rising tide. The secret weapon, their own rapidly evolving DNA, had turned the tide of war. One thing. As the Echo Wraith commanders struggled to understand this unprecedented adaptation, human Marines rewrote their own biology mid-fight. They were no longer just soldiers. They were living weapons crafted on the fly to meet every threat. Vasilev glanced at Duarte and Sato. The galaxy thought humans were fragile. Now they'll learn we are unstoppable. The battle had only just begun, but the human secret was out, and no enemy would ever underestimate their power again. As the Echo Wraith reels from the shock, a lone Marine's voice cuts through the chaos, sharing the truth behind humanity's deadly edge. Admiral Kwame Vasilev stood tall on the command deck of the UESN Thunderbolt. The hum of the ship's engines filled the air, but beneath it was a silence charged with tension. His eyes scanned the tactical display where the battered fleet prepared for the next wave. The tired faces of his officers and crew reflected a hard-earned resolve. He took a breath, then spoke into the ship-wide comms, his voice steady and filled with fire. "Colonial Marines, listen up!" Vasilev's tone cut through fatigue like a blade. "We've faced overwhelming odds before. We've stared down death in the cold void and stared back." The bridge crew straightened. Admiral Elena Duarte at the communications console exchanged a determined glance with Captain Diego Nakamura, who was already plotting the Valiant's next strike run. Vasilev paced slowly, his boots echoing softly on the metal deck. "The Echo Wraith think we're fragile. They see our flesh and assume weakness. They hear our pulse rifles and expect us to fall like simple prey." His eyes narrowed. "But they don't understand what makes us human." He stopped and looked out the viewports at the swirling asteroid belt of the Draconis Sector. The battlefield was a shattered maze of rock and fire, but humanity's colors still flew proud. "We are not just survivors. We are evolution's spearhead. Every scar, every wound we carry is proof that our bodies do not break. They change. They adapt. They fight back." The officers and crew listened, the crackling tension replaced by a rising tide of hope. Vasilev raised a fist. "We rewrite our own genetic code in real time. Our adaptive genomic injectors aren't just machines. They are the edge no alien race has ever seen." He nodded toward Colonel Leela Sato, standing alert by the tactical map. "Leela knows this better than anyone. Those nanobots streaming through our veins rewrite DNA like a battlefield weapon. When one of us falls, we don't stay down. We heal faster. We grow stronger. Our enemies' sonic waves and psionic attacks, they bounce off our evolving armor." The room seemed to swell with pride. While other species cling to rigid traditions, frozen in time, humans shape their own destiny. "We are not bound by our past or limited by our genes." Vasilev's voice grew louder, more commanding. "We are the storm that changes the galaxy's face. The Thunderbolt, the Valiant, the Guardian. We don't just fight for territory. We fight for survival, for the future of mankind." Captain Nakamura leaned forward, fingers ready at his console. "Sir, the Valiant is locked onto the next Echo Wraith target." "We're ready when you are." Vasilev smiled, a brief flash of fierce pride. "Good, then let them come." He turned to his officers, his gaze sweeping the room. "This isn't just a battle. It's the beginning of a new era, one where humanity refuses to be contained, refuses to be controlled." Admiral Elena Duarte's voice came sharp and clear. "Our Biosentinel drones are already feeding data to the AGI systems. We'll keep adapting faster than the Echo Wraith can react." Leela Sato added, "Our Marines are already showing signs of enhanced strength and regeneration. The enemy's shock tactics won't work. We've rewritten the rules." Vasilev's eyes burned with conviction. "So remember this, every Marine, every pilot, every technician aboard these ships, they thought we were weak. They thought our evolution was slow." He clenched his fist. "But we are lightning in the dark. We are the fire that forges the future." His final words rang out like a war cry. "Hold the line, fight with every breath, and show the galaxy what it means to be human. Because we don't just survive. We evolve. We conquer. We endure." The comms fell silent. Then, on the deck of the Thunderbolt, a pulse of renewed energy coursed through every heart. Admiral Vasilev looked to his officers, Duarte, Nakamura, and Sato, their faces set with fierce determination. The tide was about to turn. Humanity's true power had been unleashed. But just when the Echo Wraith thought they had us cornered, everything changed. Our bodies adapted faster than anyone could believe, and the battle began to turn in our favor. Captain Diego Nakamura gripped the controls of his M12 Juggernaut mech, its thick armor plating scarred from countless blasts. The ground beneath Draconis asteroid shook with the impact of heavy kinetic artillery. His squad pushed forward, each pilot fueled by the adaptive genomic injectors coursing through their veins. "Juggernaut Alpha to Thunderbolt," Nakamura radioed, voice steady but urgent. "We're taking heavy sonic pulse fire, but the shields hold. AGI protocols active. We're shrugging off the psionic shocks." On board the UESN Thunderbolt, Admiral Kwame Vasilev watched the tactical holomap glow with clusters of red and blue. The Echo Wraith fleet's signature flickered near the asteroid belt, their semi-transparent ships pulsing uncertainly. "Elena, status on the Guardian?" Vasilev asked, eyes narrowed. Admiral Elena Duarte's voice crackled over the comm. "Guardian launching EMP, torpedo, Mark II volleys now, targeting their phased cloaks and resonance shields. We're exposing their flagship, the Veil of Silence. Their flickering just got worse." Missiles streaked from the UESN Guardian's tubes, bright arcs of blue-white light cutting through the drifting dust. Each EMP torpedo detonated with a thunderous pulse, knocking out the Echo Wraith's phased cloaking fields and disrupting their psionic resonance shields. The enemy vessels, once ethereal and ghost-like, suddenly became solid targets. "Look at them flicker," Duarte said, voice tight with focus. "They're vulnerable now. Time to press the advantage." Back on the asteroid surface, Nakamura's Juggernaut squad advanced through cratered terrain. The Echo Wraith's semi-transparent exosuit soldiers fired sonic disruptors and psionic shards, but the Colonial Marines adapted mid-fight. "AGI is rewriting our DNA on the fly," Nakamura explained to his squad over encrypted channels. "Muscle density increasing, neural pathways recalibrating. They can't break us." One mech pilot felt the sharp sting of a psionic shockwave hit his left arm. Instantly, the Adaptive Genomic Injector nanobots reconfigured cellular structures. Pain dulled as new muscle fibers formed in seconds. He raised the kinetic artillery cannon and returned. Colonel Leela Sato, coordinating medical support from the Thunderbolt's command module, monitored live bio-data feeds. Her fingers flew over the holographic interface, tracking wound regeneration rates and adaptation responses. "AGI output is off the charts," she reported. "Soldiers are healing wounds caused by psionic burns at triple speed. Their genetic code is evolving resistance to sonic frequencies immediately." Vasilev nodded grimly. "They thought psionics would cripple us. Instead, we're rewriting the rules mid-battle." From the space above, UESN Valiant, under Captain Diego Nakamura's tactical command, wove through enemy fighters. Its brown-green camouflaged hull blended with the asteroid shadows. Nakamura's squadron exploited the damaged Echo Wraith ships, firing coordinated volleys of M41A pulse rifles from boarding pods and launching concussion missiles. "Valiant to Thunderbolt," Nakamura transmitted. "Enemy fleet coherence breaking. Their formations are faltering." "Good," Duarte replied. "Keep the pressure." Guardian's flanking strike team is moving in for decisive blows. The UESN Guardian unleashed a barrage of EMP torpedo Mark II missiles. Each explosion sent ripples through the Echo Wraith fleet, scrambling their psionic arrays and phased shield generators. The once intimidating Veil of Silence was now vulnerable. Psion Khel'Thar's voice echoed with layered distortion over intercepted comms, his tone edged with disbelief. "They adapt too quickly. Our sonic weapons lose effect. Retreat is advised." But retreat was impossible. Colonials pressed their advantage. On Draconis' rocky surface, human squads equipped with M41A pulse rifles switched adaptive ammo types on the fly, shifting between armor-piercing EMP bursts and sonic-dampening rounds. The soldiers' portable shield generator shimmered with hexagonal energy patterns, nullifying residual psionic attacks. "Juggernaut Bravo here," radioed Sergeant Malik from the front line. "Enemy exosuits down. Their soldiers are retreating into the asteroid caves." Nakamura smiled, voice fierce. "Hold the line and push forward." No mercy now. Admiral Duarte's fingers danced across the command console, initiating coordinated orbital strike on Echo Wraith escape vectors, deploying drone swarms to disable their warp drives. The tiny Bio-Sentinel drones released from the Thunderbolt zipped like silver hornets through space. Their nanosensors homed in on weak points in the Echo Wraith vessel's engine cores. Explosions bloomed in rapid succession, stripping enemy ships of mobility. Vasilev's voice boomed across all channels. "This is Admiral Vasilev. Today we prove that humanity is not a primitive species. We are evolution incarnate. Every wound we suffer fuels our strength. Every attack we endure makes us stronger. We will rewrite the fate they wrote for us." Echo Wraith commanders scrambled, their confidence shattered. Their phased ships flickered and vanished, then reappeared only to be blasted apart by relentless kinetic pulse fire. The tide had decisively turned. From the battered surface of the asteroid to the star-torn battlefield above, the Colonial Marines surged forward. Mundi. The adaptive soldiers, armored in olive-drab combat gear with glowing AGI devices on their wrists, embodied the unstoppable force of rapid evolution. Captain Nakamura's juggernauts smashed through enemy lines, while Duarte's fleet carved open escape routes for reinforcements. Echo Wraith Psi-technology faltered against the relentless human genetic onslaught. As the smoking wreckage of the Veil of Silence drifted into the void, Vasilev allowed himself a rare smile. "Prepare for the final push," he ordered. "The galaxy just learned that humans don't just survive, they evolve to conquer." The Draconis Sector echoed with the roar of victory. Humanity had turned the tide, not with raw power alone, but with the living strength to change itself in the heart of battle. As the Echo Wraith faltered, the Colonial Marines pushed forward, their ever-changing genes turning the tide into a breakthrough no one could have predicted. Victory was close, but the real battle was only just beginning. The UESN Thunderbolt slid into the docking bay of Aurora Station, its scarred hull reflecting the soft glow of Horus Prime below. Inside the station's medical bay, Colonel Leela Sato moved swiftly among rows of wounded Marines. The air buzzed with quiet energy. Soldiers who had been on the brink of death displayed rapid healing, deep lacerations knit closed in hours. Bruises faded as if erased by light. "This adaptive genomic injector tech is more than we hoped," Sato said, checking the vitals of Private Anders. "The nanobots are rewriting DNA faster than any test predicted. He should be back on his feet within days." Nearby, a squad of medics activated portable battlefield regenerators, their nanofiber meshes glowing faint blue. The hum of advanced medical tech mixed with the soft murmur of recovery. In the command deck of Aurora Station, Admiral Kwame Vasilev stood beside Admiral Elena Duarte and Captain Diego Nakamura. The three watched detailed tactical readouts streaming live from the Draconis Sector. "The Echo Wraith haven't given up," Duarte said, frowning at the data. "They've lost most of their scout fleet, but their core ships are regrouping at the sector's edge." Nakamura tapped a holoscreen displaying the UESN Valiant and UESN Guardian. "Our juggernaut units held the asteroid belt, but we need to reinforce the fleet's AGI integration. The soldiers' adaptability was the key. Next time, well, be ready from the start." Vasilev nodded, his gaze steady. "This fight exposed us, but it also revealed what makes us human. We don't just face threats, we evolve through them." Suddenly, Aurora Station's comms crackled to life. A message beacon flickered green. Duarte opened the channel, revealing a translucent, shimmering Echo Wraith emissary. Its blue-gray form shimmered with the same semi-phased glow as their ships. The creature's many silver spiral markings pulsed softly. "This is High Psion Khel'Thar's envoy," the alien voice echoed in layered harmonics. "We request ceasefire talks. Your genetic adaptation exceeds any threat we anticipated. Further conflict risks annihilation for both our peoples." Vasilev's jaw tightened. He glanced at Duarte and Sato before replying, voice calm but firm. "We accept talks under strict conditions. Humanity will not surrender its right to evolve or defend itself." Duarte keyed in coordinates for a neutral zone on the edge of the Draconis Sector. "Well, prepare a delegation. This is a chance to secure peace or buy time to strengthen our defenses." The station's intercom buzzed again. Captain Nakamura reported from the fleet. "Thunderbolt and Valiant crews are conducting system checks. All ships operational, but will begin upgrading AGI modules immediately." As Vasilev turned away from the holo, he allowed a rare smile. "The galaxy underestimated us. They thought humans were just another species to dominate or discard." He stepped to the observation deck, looking out at Horus Prime's swirling blue-green clouds. "But we are more. We are the spearhead of evolution. We rewrite ourselves as the battle demands. No enemy can freeze progress." Colonel Sato joined him, adjusting her armored jacket. "Our soldiers are no longer just fighters. They are living weapons, changing form to meet every threat." The Echo Wraith learned that the hard way. Vasilev nodded. And now, every galactic power will scramble to understand. We must stay one step ahead. Below, Aurora Station's lights flickered as starships prepared for the next chapter. The UESN Thunderbolt's engines thrummed quietly. On her deck, Marines reloaded M41A pulse rifles and checked their M12 Juggernaut exosuits, their faces set with fierce resolve. Humanity has rewritten the rules of war, Vasilev said softly. The galaxy will never be the same. Outside, the silent stars watched as one species embraced change like a weapon. The battle was won. The war was just beginning, and humanity stood ready, ever new, ever strong, ever free.